Very selfish person. Like many wants to talk about what a good person he is. No, he's not. He talks nice sometimes. Now, of course, I try to give him a tiny taste of what I go through so that he gets it through his head. But no, it doesn't sink in. And here's why. I'm not capable of doing to him the things that are done to me. I'm incapable of it. Chris talks nice. He doesn't listen for shit. He's got lots of opinions, and of course his opinions are more important than your experience. So what good is he going to do? None. He's not a good person. He's nice sometimes. He also talks about violence. Way too much. And of course, yesterday he was trying to purchase himself a firearm that would be illegal for him to purchase. But he wanted to do it anyway. Smith & Wesson 40. The guy he was trying to buy the gun from told him no more than once. Chris couldn't take no for an answer. He doesn't stop to think about the suggestions that he's making or how intelligent they are for him to make them, because he's not that intelligent a feller. I kind of like that he talks nice, but talking nice is not the same as, well, not being a coward. When Jamie was assaulted in the Dalles, Oregon, the guy who punched her in the head could have beaten me up on accident. That's how weak I am physically. Now let's take a look at Chris Stafford. Wants to keep on talking about how he'd marry Amanda. He'd marry Amanda. He'd marry Amanda. Well, great. Marry her already. Do it. If you're going to do it, do it. Don't just talk about it. If she don't want to marry you, well, shit, that's fine. She doesn't have to. Now, when it comes to giving him a tiny taste of what I go through, a tiny taste. Well, I did what I did. I said what I said, and I did it publicly. I don't hide it like a coward. However, when I get harassed like that, you get to see how many people get involved, how many numbers are involved. It's a lot. Chris Stafford doesn't have to go through that. When he needed help, he went to a druggie, Amanda, and she helped him to block him from my phone, which is fine. I don't want to talk to that piece of shit. If it hadn't been for Amanda, well, for her mom coming up to me yesterday and being worried and wanting to get a hold of her, I wouldn't have talked to Chris at all. But he does the same thing he does every time. He talks over me. You know, he wanted me to sit over at the other end of the parking lot and literally stare all day long at the car wash and count how many cars go through. He wanted me to sit there all of next Sunday for $20 to do that. No, dude. It is not worth $20 for me to literally sit and watch your car wash. No, it's not worth it to me. That's not time effective. I mean, you figure there's 24 hours in a day. And then you figure there's probably 8 hours of that I'm going to be sleeping. So I'm going to sit there for 16 hours and watch. for 20 bucks. It's like $1.25 an hour. Holy shit, no, I don't work for $1.25 an hour. No, I'm not going to sit there and just watch the car wash all day with a little tally book for $1.25 an hour. Yeah, I get that yesterday I was out there panhandling for more than 2 hours and I didn't make $1.25. But you know what I did get? I got a $10 sandwich from Subway. So I'm grateful for those things. I really am. But here's the thing with Chris. Chris will just talk over you. His opinions are more important. Finding out what's going on doesn't matter. His opinions, just like the rest of you. You want to throw your opinions out there. You don't want to listen to the victim or look at any evidence. You just want to talk. It's always your turn to talk. Your turn to talk. Meanwhile, it's not like I'm going out and getting a whole bunch of people to call up Chris and harass him the way that I'm harassed. See, when I put people's numbers out there, nobody goes and harasses them the way that I'm harassed. So Chris doesn't have to deal with that. Chris can pretend that everything's all fine and dandy. The thing is, the dude's trying to buy illegal firearms. It's not illegal for the guy who owns it. It is illegal for Chris. So maybe Chris should, I don't know, use his brains. Now, when it comes to blocking a number, you want to block just one person, that's fine. I'm only one person. Now, imagine if a whole bunch of people called up Chris to harass him the way that I'm harassed. Imagine if people were to call him up and threaten to kill him and his family the way people do to me. See, while he got to deal with me, giving him an example of that for less than a day, what did he do? Oh, he got pissed off. Of course he did. Later on, he wanted to play it off. Well, you go ahead and play it however you want, Chris Stafford. The fact is, I'm not going to hide it. When we talk about honest people, I'm an honest person, Chris, whether you like it or not. Now, when you say that you're going to do something, you say that you're going to show up, you say that you're going to help me in a certain way, and you don't keep your word, it does affect me. When I tell you what my disabilities are and how they affect me, and you talk right over the top of me, it's all about your suggestions, what you want to do, what you want me to do. And if I don't do what you want, you're going to throw a tantrum. You're going to be angry, dismissive, whatever. The thing is, if you say that you'll help me if I stick around, let's say you tell me if I come over at 8 o'clock tomorrow that you'll help me out, and I get there at 8 o'clock, you're not there at 8 o'clock, you don't get there till 9:30. When you get there at 9:30, you're too busy flirting with well, she ain't your girlfriend. She's somebody else's girlfriend. And of course, y'all talk about some pretty disgusting stuff that, well, it's quite disgusting. When a woman starts telling you that if a man that she's dating does anything at all, she starts talking about all the things she's going to do to destroy his life. Oh, if he emotionally cheats on me, I'll go have sex with all of his friends and get it on video and send it to him. Jesus Christ, dude. Really? You would marry a woman like that? You are fucking insane, dude. Oh, that youngins made a big old mess in the parking lot last night, as always. When it comes to Chris Stafford, he's too selfish to listen. And of course, he also had help immediately. Where was my help stopping the abuse? Where was my help? It didn't exist. People tell me what to do. Like Chris Stafford wanted to tell me what to do. Now, when I was harassing him and being mean over the phone, absolutely I admit to it. Had to show him an example somehow. Whether he wanted to hear it or not is arbitrary. I don't tell you the things that are going on with the intention of you getting all butthurt like a little bitch. I have real problems. This guy doesn't. He doesn't have real problems. If he had real problems, he wouldn't be running around trying to spend money on things that are incredibly stupid to spend your money on if you're as broke as he claims to be. If you're that broke and you're out trying to buy firearms illegally, you screwed up. You screwed up big. Now, I'm not against firearms. I wholeheartedly believe that every American should own a firearm. I wholeheartedly believe that everybody should be trained to use one, whether they're willing to carry one or possess one or not. We live in way too nasty a world today to be ignoring things like that. Now, the Chris Stafford, he's got a way of blowing off literally everything. Like, no matter what, he's just going to talk over me and make suggestions. And all of you do this. This is how you show whether or not you have any respect for somebody. Do you listen to what they have to say? Or do you spout a bunch of ignorance at them? You find out what the situation was with me and Natalie and all them friggin' crackheads? Or you just want somebody to blame? Must be Sean's fault. Must be Sean's fault. Y'all pick whoever it is that's easiest to blame, and then you go at it. You go at it heavy. Chris will never, ever have to go through what I go through. Ever. The situation that he's living in. He's a selfish person. He deserves it. And you want to keep on changing the rules. Somehow they're magically different from you or for you than they are for others. Somehow magically, it's wrong for somebody to speak up about you or your cowardice. Somehow it's wrong, isn't it? No, it's not. It's not wrong to tell the truth. There's a lot of people who want to pull out little bits and pieces and call it the truth. No, it doesn't work that way. Especially not in real life. Then again, I don't have any help with any of that, do I? I don't have any help. What I have is pieces of crap like Stafford, who is just a piece of crap. That's all he is. There is nothing good about the man. Nice. There's a big difference between nice and good. Nice people are not real. I don't mean as in they don't exist. I don't mean that as in they're a figment of our imaginations. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Nice people are not genuine. There we go. The thing is, no matter what people do to me, you make excuses for them. All of you do this. The mentally ill tag means it must be okay to harm me. I must deserve it. Mentally ill, mentally ill. You know, when you call somebody mentally ill, they're supposed to be protected from people like you. It's used the opposite, isn't it? You call somebody mentally ill and magically it's okay to harm them all of a sudden, isn't it? What about Chris Stafford? What kind of a person is he? Is he a good person like he said last night? No, he's not. He wanted to say that over and over and over again. He pulled up next to my car last night. Like, you know, I didn't want to talk to him to begin with. I want him the hell out of my life. I don't want to listen to his BS stories and hear him talk about Amanda the crackhead. I'd marry her in a heartbeat. Well, good for you. Then do it. Do it. I need actual help. Not some idiot who's going to talk over me about some crackhead he's got a crush on. No, I don't want bad shit to happen to Amanda. On the other hand, Amanda's problems are not major issues. Amanda's problems are not my problems. Amanda's problems, unlike mine, are likely the result of her meth use, of her drug use. I never got into those drugs. But then again, you get to see how I'm treated as if I must be one of those druggies. I must be, right? Well, why must I be? Just because some meth heads want to pretend? Not a chance in Hades. By the way, finding out that George Helmstetter is the one that found Christine Buheit's body in Boulder, Colorado, that makes perfect sense, actually. It makes perfect sense why he'd hide like a coward. See, Chris Stafford didn't have anything to do with any of the situation with Natalie Bollinger. None of that was his fault. The thing is, the bullshit that he has created for me and the time that he has wasted by not taking it seriously, not understanding that it'll take me a whole day of just waiting on him so that I can make sure that I meet him when he wants to meet. But if he doesn't keep his word, that's not on me. But it's going to be held over my head now, isn't it? If it's not held over my head by Chris, it'll be held over my head by the courts, or by the cops, or by these web sleuths. And you want to pretend that they don't make any difference, like they can just be ignored. They can't. Not without legal action, but nobody cares. Chris doesn't care how much of my time he's wasted by not keeping his fucking word. By wanting to talk over me and will do what he wants. And I just have to believe that he did those things. Why? Because Chris Stafford is a lying POS. He did say that Amanda's fine yesterday. I don't mean fine as in good looking. I mean, I let him know that her mom got a hold of me and hadn't talked to her in a few days, and Chris said that Amanda was fine. She wasn't hurt or anything like that. She wasn't missing or anything like that. But the thing is, when somebody needs help, talking about yourself doesn't help them. Doing things for them instead of with them, but not coming forward about it, The only person you're telling is me. I don't believe you, because too many people have lied at me and told me they were trying to help that didn't. And Chris, you're no different. You're a coward first class. If you listened a little bit better, it wouldn't be on the internet like this. But just like the rest of you, he wants to not listen to the fucking victim. It's do what he wants when he wants. No, Chris Stafford. That's not equality. Equality would be if you ended up with 500 restricted calls all in one day. Equality would be you being treated like a rapist and a child molester just for being fat. Chris Stafford's got a beard. Oh, he must be a rapist. He's got a beard. He must be a child molester. He's a man. He must be a rapist. He's a man. He must be a child molester. And so on, and so on, and so on, and so on. He's a white guy. So obviously he must be... Well, you guys get where this is going. Imagine if I treated Chris the way that people treat me. I gave him way less than 24 hours of bullying. Way less. Just enough for him to understand. And you know what? I'm not sure if you noticed this, but I admit to those things. Chris Stafford's got his own ideas in his head, but his inability to listen to another human being shows what a selfish POS he is. What are his chances with Amanda? They're not that great. He doesn't mess around with the drugs that she's interested in, or at least that's what he says. Not anymore. He used to, but not anymore. Well, that's great. But what part of that gets him to listen on the days that he says he's going to listen? What part of that gets him to listen to understand instead of talking over me and changing the subject to whatever he wants it to be? How about you focus on the person's problems that's having the problem instead of trying to turn it into something else or waste their time or be a lying piece of crap? Chris Stafford is a liar, L-I-A-R. I don't agree with him trying to purchase illegal firearms. I don't agree with that. He doesn't take no for an answer, so I certainly wouldn't fucking date him. See, there's some people that ask questions like, there's a guy named Dana Jepson, right? Used to be a friend of mine back in the day. He also used to be an educator and a construction worker. Well, as an educator, he decided that he was going to type some stuff to some students of his that you probably shouldn't type to students. Don't repeat anything Sean says on a job site. You'll get in trouble. That's the moral of the story there. When people say stuff like, well, would you trust Dana Jepson to teach your kids? Yes, I fucking would. I would absolutely trust him to teach my kids. Just because he was charged as a sexual deviant, you get to see Dana Jepson versus female predators. See, Dana Jepson typed something that was sarcastic and snide, and yes, it was sexually inappropriate. I grew up in the system. I have a very filthy mouth from growing up in the system, and something that I say should not be repeated to children. especially if you're an educator. What's the average amount of time that a woman spends for actually having sex with a student? 8 months. 8 months. That includes women who are spending 30 years or more, which does not happen often. Those women are factored into that too. And I get to see Chris and many other people think that talking over me and smiling about a fucked up situation wants to consider that help. Or, oh, well, I'm going to call my friend at this place or that place. Hey, you know what? Calling your friends whatever. Call them with me. What the hell are you going to tell them? You don't know anything about what's going on because you talk over me. Me doing a favor for Amanda's mom doesn't mean that I'm inviting Chris back into my life. It doesn't mean that I'm going to listen to him push over and over, hey, I'll give you $20 if you sit there next weekend and stare at all the cars for a whole day. Write down how many go through the car wash. For 20 fucking bucks, dude, are you kidding me? That doesn't help me at all. That just wastes another day of my time, like you do every time, Chris Stafford. You just end up wasting my time and talking over me and talking about how you'd marry Amanda in a heartbeat. You'd marry Amanda in a heartbeat. You'd marry Amanda in a heartbeat. Christ, dude, shut up. Tell her. Tell her. Why is it that you're recorded on my YouTube channel saying that stuff? Have you told that to her? The other thing is, if she's going to go cheating on her boyfriend with all of his friends and getting it on video and sending it to him, and that's her idea, if she sees him talking to another woman, but meanwhile she come down and she hang out with you, and then there's the part about her boyfriend beating her up, he beat her up, and then she's back with him. Amanda is fucking druggy ass trouble. She's trouble, Chris. Are you supportive of her the way you're supportive of me? No. You'll actually have a conversation with her. You'll actually listen to what she has to say, but then again, that comes down to your sex drive. It's got nothing to do with who I am as a human being. And it's obviously got nothing to do with who she chooses to be as a human being. There's a lot of people that don't like equality. They don't like being treated the way that they treat me. They don't like being treated the way that I'm treated. See, just like with everyone, when you're homeless, people have this disrespect for you. Like you must be lazy because you're homeless. Your disabilities must be fake because you're homeless. It must be a drug addiction is the reason that you're homeless. No. Not my drug addictions anyway. My mom's drug addictions, my sister's drug addictions, my older brother's drug addictions. My little brother's not addicted to drugs. Well, he might still do meth. I don't know. My little brother's a pervert, though. He's addicted to little girls. It's because my little brother Michael is a pervert. While people pretend that I'm a pervert, my little brother Michael is a pervert. While people pretend that I'm a druggie, Amanda is a druggie. She also admitted it on my channel. I got Joshua Rayborn recorded on my channel too, talking about his meth use and how he shoots up. See, here's the thing about being a disabled and at-risk adult. People see you as a male. That's what they see. You are a male. And all of the bias that goes along with that. Chris Stafford, between helping me out when I'm victimized or hanging out with Amanda and egging her on with that nasty behavior, well, yeah, it's pretty obvious that the only thing that's going to be heard is if I'm as nasty as my predators. And I'm incapable because I'm just one man. I don't want Chris Stafford anywhere near me. I don't want to talk to him. I don't want to listen to a thing he has to say. That's because it's equal. He hangs out with a meth addict because he's got a big old crush on her. I don't want to hang out with any of them. I just want to clear my name and get my goddamn resources back so I can go somewhere safe and be left the hell alone for the rest of my goddamn life. That shouldn't be an issue. Not that it mattered. Not that it'll ever matter, because Chris Stafford is a coward and a selfish piece of shit. He doesn't give a fuck about me. His suggestions are time wasters, not help. But what do you expect from a brain-dead redneck from Tillamook, Oregon? Fucking pathetic.